Okay, we're here right now to show you the funnel feeder and the portions of it that'll be shipped in a box to each one of our customers. We'll start out with, first everybody's going to get a tub that'll come in the kit. And in just a minute we'll show you what the tub is used for. And it's going to come with the plumbing fittings and the funnel. And when you put the funnel into the fittings, you want to always be sure that the ball valve is on the water entrance side. In other words, the funnel portion goes on the discharge part of the ball valve. And you put it together like this, and the funnel, you'll take it, you'll screw it right into the top of the T. And that's the way it'll be operated. And then we'll take it over here and we'll screw it into the back of the funnel feeder. And that's the proper arrangement is right there. The water will come into this tube here. The ball valve will regulate the flow, and the percolator in the funnel, and the gold and black sand will go down the funnel feeder. Now the funnel feeder sluice box, it has a set of legs, and they fold out. They just fold down. Each one of them folds down, and it already puts the proper grade. In other words, when those legs are down on basically level ground, it already has the proper grade that I want it operated. Now if you were running material that had a lot more magnetite or a lot heavier black sands, you can put a block under it, make it a little steeper, or you can just take the leg down like that and set it on and it'll make it a little steeper. But basically when you get it from us, it'll already have the proper grade to start out with. Also in the kit will come a screen, and this screen is, you'll screen all your material down to this size. And we will be doing it here in the display here in just a minute. But it'll come with a screen, and it'll also come with the hose that operates it. And this is a 1-inch hose that'll have all the proper fittings on it. Okay, now in order to run the material through your funnel feeder, it all has to be screened down to about an 1/8 inch mesh. And as I said, in the kit comes an 1/8 inch screen. And you just take a 5-gallon bucket and set it, fill it full of water, and set it into the water. You take your material and you dump into the screen. And I usually put about that much. And when you do, you can shake it, pump it up and down, shake it, pump it up and down. And a lot of times, you can see it just screens everything down to your smaller rock. Now a lot of times we will take this material and we will dump it into a gold pan and repan it just in case we have any nuggets or larger pieces of gold that won't go through the screen. Now we'll run this whole 5-gallon bucket of material, go ahead if you want, through there, and this Gold Grabber funnel feeder is designed to take 1 5-gallon bucket of concentrate. Now concentrate means material that's already come through a sluice box or a Gold Grabber or a gold dredge. It is not designed to take gravel that is up in some dirt bank that has never been submerged in water. You have to wash the silt out of it. All material that comes out of a gold dredge already has the silt worked out. If you don't take the silt out first or pre-wash it, then that will plug up the funnel feeder. So you see he's always working with water to clear it up. Okay, now we have our material screened down in the bucket. You can see it's already been screened down to the mesh that we want to operates the funnel feeder. You don't want it much larger than this. 1/8 inch is about as large as you want to run because the funnel feeder has a percolator in it that has a hole that meters the material. So what we'll do is we're going to plug this in. Now this is an electric one, but our African model will come with a gasoline motor so that you won't have to worry about electricity. Now you notice as it's running, you see a nice even flow, and these bars are put in there to cause the flat gold to roll over. It stumbles the gold, so if you have any real flat, thin gold, this will cause them, instead of float on the water, it'll cause them to sink. So these bars are in there for a reason. And also you can see how in the funnel feeder you can hear the gurgling sound. to do is we're going to start loading it. And what you'll do is you'll just load, you can actually fill this funnel up. Always when the funnel feeder is operating, you always want to keep about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of fresh water on top. Because if you notice that as it runs, it is making a funnel in the center or a drop piece. If you don't have a water layer on the top of it, then it can't set up a suction in your concentrate and it won't feed properly. So you always keep water on it, just like we're doing there. Now if you notice, when we feed it, you'll see the black sand and the stones panning themselves out. Well, you'll know your machine is working properly when you see a small funnel in the center in your sand. That shows you that it's operating properly. If you don't see that material starting to turn into a funnel in the center, then that's telling you that you either don't have enough water on it or you put too large of stones in it and it plugged up the meter on the bottom. Now you notice when we're running it, we're recirculating our material. That's the best way. That's why it comes with a tub and the gasoline motor, because by recirculating it, it doesn't use up a lot of water, and you kind of keep it all contained. You're not running back and forth with buckets of water. You just can't let this run out of sand. You have to keep this in full all the time. Because once it runs out of sand, you just have plain water coming down, and after a while, it starts working some of your gold out of the riffle. The material ran through the funnel feeder, and we're going to show you how we clean it up. All you do is you just flip these stainless steel clamps. Now if you come in here, you'll be able to see the gold actually stopping in the riffles right here before we take the riffles out. You can see the fine gold. See the fine gold stopping in the riffles. It might be a little hard on the camera to see it. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to lift the riffles out. Okay, now this lower part is a separate section. You see it come apart? Because the first 10 inches of this will collect about 90% of the gold. The first 10 inches. All your material screened into this area right here. This is 1/3 of the sluice. Very seldom your gold gets down this far. The first 9 to 10 inches is where your gold is. And I'll show you what we do is we usually keep this piece separate. You can see the gold in there. We usually keep this piece separate. In other words, the machine has already panned this out, the good stuff, first. So we'll take this and put it in a bucket and keep it separate. And then we'll just take a gold pan, and what we'll do is we'll put this first 10 inches in a separate one, because it has 90% of our gold in it. There's no use panning all of it again. Now what we'll do is we'll put it in a pan. We'll wash this mat out. And like I said, most of our gold will be caught in the first 9 to 10 inches of the funnel feeder. Okay, now what you'll see is, I'm just going to rough pan this and then we're going to go through the rest of it. But if you notice when I pan it, you see the black sand? Look how the fine dust in that. See the dust? You won't find a machine, I don't care who builds it, that'll recover that fine of gold out of concentrate that quick. And you see the gold. You see the pieces of gold in there? Okay, now when you get it to this point right here, before you shut down, you shove your pan underneath the bottom of it, and go ahead and bump that. Just not real hard, just bump it just a little bit.
Plug it in?
Just a second, just hit it real hard. Don't unplug it, okay? Now you see how there's gold still coming down? Go ahead and keep doing it. Because some of the gold will be caught up into the header box there. Okay, see the black sand come down there? Some of this will have some gold in it. Okay, now you notice our tray is all nice and clean. That's what you want it to look like. Okay, now like I said, the first 10 inches, 9 or 10 inches, is where this real good concentrated gold is. Now, a lot of things you can do now, this is going to be our gold, our good stuff, but what you can do is you can take this material that went further down the riffles, and to save time, you can put them in a bucket and rerun them again, or run them with your other concentrate, because this will have some gold in it. Okay, now you can see our concentrate that we just got out of the funnel feeder. Like I said, it converts a 5-gallon bucket of heavy concentrate to just about a coffee cup of material. Now you still have to work this material down to get the gold out of it. And so I'm going to show you a technique here that we use. And we'll take a magnet. This has a little magnet in it. And don't mash the magnet down into the black sand. Hold it in the water and make the black sand have to, like a paintbrush, come up and collect on it. You see how I'm just moving it? It's called a magic wand. You just move it above the material and it'll pull the magnet out. Now if you just shove this down in there, it'll have pieces of fine gold that are trapped with the black sand, and you'll be losing a little bit of your gold. But as long as you hold it and suspend it above the black sand where the material has to climb up to it. And also this magnet, another way to use it is you just flip the magnet to the other side and then roll it forward, and that's how you can get it to release the black. When you take the black sand out, it's much easier to pan your concentrate because the black sand has a specific gravity of about 7, gold is 19, so it slows you down in your panning process. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll just take the pan. This is one of our gold grabber pans. You notice it has a long raceway. That way you can really peel the material out easily. You want to keep shaking the material down. When you get it this concentrated with gold, you got to be a little more careful because as you can see there's dust, gold dust in there, and we want to keep it in the pan, so we want to keep shaking it down. And then what I do is I'll put a little water in my pan and turn it around backwards and just use it like a rocker. See how when I rock it, see the trash come out? As soon as I start seeing little pieces of gold like this come out, I'll stop it for a minute. Leave your water line right at the trash area, and then you just dump your trash out. And you do that about 10 times and you've got it down to pure gold. Shake it down again. You can see, turn it around backwards. That's what this backdrop is to wash back to it. And you have this long raceway, this long green raceway to watch for gold. See a little piece of gold like this start down, just leave it dry. And now we'll just take water and dump the trash out. As long as you leave it dry, it'll stick to the pan. Okay, and then we have of course our little sniffer bottles, our little traps, so that you can suck up the gold. And you notice on the gold grabber sniffer bottle that it has a tube in it, and that's a trap. That way, when the gold falls through that trap, you can spray the water out, but the gold can't find its way back up the tube.